Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. Hopefully you guys are having a great day and a great week. Markets are all over the place here. We've seen a down day, about 75 points down on the Dow, S&P down about 10. Not a very good day for the markets. Gold is actually up just a little bit and oil's up a little bit. We're going to have a look at how that is playing into some of the currency pairs. Lots of news today, retail sales, PPI, unemployment claims, so on. Pretty negative across the board. And then coming into tomorrow, we have the core CPI for the U.S., which is a little bit of a mover, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then the German report, which hasn't typically been much of a mover, but it's worth keeping an eye on for the euro pairs. So just keep watch of those. Okay, so really all there is to talk about today is the euro dollar and the Aussie dollar, in my opinion, at this point. And let's start with the euro dollar. First of all, we have a couple of missed pivots here on this euro dollar, so we're getting some attraction down into this, at least into hopefully into this missed pivot here, which is around 129.85. About nearly 100 pips below current market price. Here is what I am ultimately looking for on the euro dollar. Yes, I do get a little bit alarmed about the fact that, let me just get rid of a couple of these levels real quick, about the fact that there is quite a bit of a bullish candle right here. There's no way around that. This could turn into a big bullish engulfing candle if we're not careful. But big reversal candle off this trend line right here, huge reversal candle. Sellers are getting scared out of this thing like crazy. It looks like we've got a, on the weekly chart, it almost looks like we've got this inverted head and shoulders, head, shoulder, shoulder going on, and those are looking pretty good. Neckline is kind of running through this area, and this is where a lot of traders are kind of positioning themselves for this inverted head and shoulders right here. So again, head, shoulder, shoulder, and if we start to break above this 131.50, then that will hugely confirm that this thing is ready to take off. So staying below 131.50 is definitely going to be important for the near term. But I think that we've got one more little run down off of this. When we get weekly reversal candles like this, it's worth paying attention to because they don't happen that often. And when they do, the market typically reacts quite well to them. And so we're seeing this weekly reversal candle. As long as we stay below this high of 120 or 131.26, then I think this is a very viable sell entry. Now we're currently about 50 pips from that top. And I think this is a good area to start shorting this euro against all of this resistance, against this big high right here, against all of that. I like a short on the euro dollar, basically current market price, above the high back there, which is 131. So really stops should be about 131.30, and you can see that, again, that's about 50 pips away from where we are, and I'm going to be targeting at least in the beginning here about 130.30, and we may add a little bit as this thing goes down, but 130.30 should be our target. So it's not a huge risk to reward winner here. We're risking about 50, looking to make about 70, so not too bad on the short end, but I think we really could get this thing back down into the 129.50, even 129.00. I think there's some good potential there. So let's watch for that. Let's keep an eye on that. But that's what I'm looking for on the euro dollar, and that's really all I think is going to be really exciting to trade. Now, if this gets back down here towards 129.50, then it could turn into a very interesting buy. And even just below 130 could be an interesting buy. We'll see how, just again, it'll depend on how price action and markets behave and how everything goes. But so far, that's kind of what I'm looking for. Pound dollar, again, just nothing super exciting to look at on this pound dollar. It's just doing what it's doing, and there's not too much to talk about. Euro yen, just a quick little update on the euro yen. Euro yen is just broken. I mean, it's pretty safe to say the euro yen's pretty nicely above some of these major trend lines, and it's probably just going to continue, up for who knows how long. We have some missed weekly pivots. We have some missed daily pivots on this euro yen. I mean, at some point it's going to need to retrace just a little bit, but when that happens, we'll see. Not going to do too much with the euro yen for probably several days at least, maybe into later next week. Aussie dollar, on the other hand, is getting pretty interesting and pretty good. Now, what we have on this Aussie dollar is this little high right here became kind of significant. This was FOMC news. You know, the euro dollar, we had that spike for FOMC news, and Aussie dollar had that same thing. And we have all this resistance up here, just below about 10600. You know, right in that general area. And so as that spiked up there and took out some pretty significant stops, I would imagine. That became a nice little high that I think is good to trade against. That's 105.85 basically on the dot. So this high right here is now kind of a good stop area, and you can see that we're about 55 pips from that. I like shorting this Aussie dollar somewhere below 105.50, between 105.40 and 105.50. 105.35 to 105.50 is kind of my short area on the Aussie dollar with stops above this. So again, we're looking at about 50 pips on the stops, but I think we've got a good chance to take this thing right back into 104.50, right back into the lows here, giving us, you know, a very nice little run and some nice profit potential. So I'm definitely looking at that being the case, and so shorting, you know, again below this daily pivot, now in this general area, with stops above 105.85 is going to be my move for now, and I think that's going to be the best one on this Aussie dollar. Gold and everything's just kind of bouncing around, moving around. The yen pairs aren't doing anything very interesting. They all look very, very similar. So again, there's not too much to do there. So all focus for me right now is euro dollar, Aussie dollar, and that's kind of where I am. So I'll have more details coming out on Twitter. Keep an eye on things. The updates will be coming as they come, and just follow me on Twitter and be ready for some entries. But those are the two things that I'm looking at, focusing on, and we'll be trading as the day and week goes on. Thanks a bunch, everyone. Best of luck, and I will see you guys in the chat and on Twitter.